Hey folks, I appreciate you joining me. Thank you for being a subscriber, and thank you for just viewing this. Looks like I got 27 subscribers. I hope I don't let you down with boring content or maybe drive you away from just wearing you out on some different topics. So I'm going to try to mix it up today. And that is, I've often asked the question, would we admit when we're wrong? So taking a look at the last few months, especially in Michigan, would we admit that we were wrong? I know that we become very divided in the state of Michigan about whether or not these executive orders and the requests of government have become overreaching and unreasonable. Of course, I've been on here saying that's absolutely true, that it is overreaching, unconstitutional, illegal, and unreasonable. And so I'm looking at a lot of people wearing masks, not wearing masks. I go back to the beginning. We have supposedly one of the smartest guys in immunology in the United States, Tony Fauci, saying the flu is going to kill more people than anyone all the way into February. And then in a 2-week period in March, he changes gears, convinces the president and all of the governors, all of mainstream media tells us, 5 million people are going to die. And that's from some scientist, Ferguson's his last name, in England. He's been since kicked out of the Royal School of Medicine. Okay, why is it? This is the same guy that said 200 million people are going to die from the bird flu. Why is it we trust these people? How is it that we allow people to influence our lives in such a tremendous way? And how is it that we have Fauci tell us it's not a big deal? More people are going to die from the flu. And then all of a sudden, nobody dies from the flu. Now everybody just dies from COVID. And right in front of us, we have Dr. Burke saying, if they test positive for COVID, then it's a COVID death. And we're not understanding that we've given up so much. And poverty kills. Not way more than this virus does. So I'm watching people wearing masks, not wearing masks. What if remember the original storyline from the Surgeon General was, don't wear a mask, it's not going to help you. And let's think about that for 1 second. People in the healthcare industry, they're in a sterilized environment, they're a controlled environment, they wear a mask to help the patient keep from getting anything they might have and to help keep getting anything from the patient. But it's a controlled environment. The more I look into this, the more I learn about our immune system and how through our nose, again, you don't want to touch your face a lot, the T they call it, okay. You don't want to touch it a lot, wash your hands often. But the little bit of exposure you have to fresh air, whatever's in the air, helps build your immune system. You'd say, oh, well, what about my allergies though? I need to wear a mask because that helps me fight my allergies. Okay. We have more people with allergies today than we've ever had in our entire life. It used to be that you develop some allergy issues, you start consuming some honey that's from your area, and your immune system takes in those allergens, and it doesn't affect you the same way from the honeybees. And I know a lot of, hardcore environmentalists will say, well, our honeybees are dying off because of global climate change. It used to be global warming. Actually, the same people that are still alive, it was going to be a next ice age, and then it was going to be global warming, and then it was just global climate change. And now we're looking like more and more scientists are coming back to it's going to be a next ice age. So it's about control. I believe this more than ever. And it's funny to me, if we just look at it from a political aspect, the same people that are saying They believe in a right of choice, that a woman, regardless of how far along in pregnancy, regardless of whatever the science says, a woman has the right to make the choice with her body. And I'll just say, if you look at that, I think it's 1973 Roe v. Wade Supreme Court decision, 6-3, I believe it was. And it was stated in there by the Supreme Court justices that because science could not emphatically, specifically determine when life started, then Roe had the opportunity to be able to do what they wanted with the body. I think that's how it read. And you can look it up. I'm not reading it to you because I want you to look it up. But the point of the justices was, if in fact science could determine beyond a shadow of a doubt that life was already in existence, then that life is covered under the Constitution. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's not going to be necessary for a president to overturn Roe v. Wade. Science already proves what the Supreme Court justices said. So it's a group of people that say freedom of choice. That woman should have the choice. Isn't it odd to anyone that it's the majority of that same group of people that are calling for mass and mandatory vaccinations? They're trying to say that that woman has a right to decide what she can do with her body, even though that life that's living inside of her can be taken out of that body and live after somewhere between 9 and 12 weeks. And these neonatal units are amazing now. But those same people say she has the right to choose, but then they don't want to give me or any like-minded person the ability to choose not to get a vaccine. They would say that I'm harming somebody else. I'm compromising someone else's health if I don't get tested. If there's 5 of us in a room and you 4 decide to get the vaccine, what do you care if I didn't get it? I know what you'll say. You'll say, well, maybe I've got a family member. Maybe you're going to expose someone that I love that has a compromised immune system to a virus. Okay, it's possible. I just find it strikingly difficult for me to get my head wrapped around that the majority of the sane people, especially in academia, a woman has the right to choose right up until in New York at the time of birth, and in Virginia at the time of birth. And yet they're also saying I don't have a right to choose whether or not I get this vaccination for COVID-19 or whatever else they want. There's like about 70 vaccinations right now on the schedule with the CDC. There's 270 in the pipeline. I'll say it right now. I'm not anti-vaccination. I heard it today, and I think it's important for us to say this. People like me are probably pro we are about stimulating our immune system in such a way that we can be healthier, which is not the same as the vaccination schedule we currently have. And if nothing else happens from this particular podcast, this particular conversation, all I want you to do is check it out. They're censoring things. They might even censor this video. They're censoring things at a rapid rate. They call it misinformation, disinformation. Why can't we have a First Amendment supported by everybody? If you don't like what you're hearing from me, you can turn me off. You don't have to continue. I just find it striking to me that don't wear masks, it does not help you. Oh, everybody needs to wear a mask now if you're going to go out in public. In fresh air, in public, I'm watching people walking down the sidewalk with a breeze. And so what if by covering up your face, you're not able to take in any good germs, any good elements that as your body absorbs it, it helps create antibodies to fight other things. What if that's possible? The two doctors that were out in California whose video has already been pulled, they pointed that very thing out. And I just really want us to have conversations about, are we making the right decisions? I'm looking forward to an interview tomorrow. I hope anybody that watches this tonight, this is Wednesday night, tunes in tomorrow. I've got Bob Martin from the Review Magazine. We're going to do an interview. I'm looking at trying to expand this to be able to invite more people in to the James Detroit podcast to see if we can get more opinions, more perspectives. And as always, I'm seeking the truth. I'm trying to connect the dots. I just want us to engage in critical dialogue, critical thinking. It's so important. I hope everybody's safe. I hope everybody's healthy. And I hope you tune in the next time too. Share it with somebody else. Thank you so much. I'm James Detroit, and I'm out.